So, Phil, have you got some music for
I
us?
do. I do. I need to just start the music first because once I put in the slideshow, it covers up the music thing. So that's going to come on first.
Okay.
Here we go. That's pretty much it.
Oh, it was magical. Thank you, Finn.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very pretty indeed.
Okay,
And
that's my
Marco, if you're saying
screen
words, we
folder.
can't hear you. Sorry.
Well, that was very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your screen with us.
I have two things that were sent to me that are, I'll find them here real quick, that we had so much color in there, but one of these really reminded me so much of something I got sent yesterday. Let me see if I'm here. Okay, yeah, let me share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Those are salt mountains in Iran.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Truly amazing. Wow.
Just, millions of years in the making art.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And there's another one that's man-made, but still impressive.
Oh, wow. Carbon absorbing building. Oh my gosh.
That's
That
an
is
actual
glorious.
building.
Is getting.
Talk about a garden and a building combined.
Yeah.
It's what we're talking about, isn't it? Wouldn't that be an amazing Our Heart Gardens?
That would be outstanding.
You know, the thing is, though, this is all very lovely for the individual owners of the units, but you know, if they go away for a holiday, who's going to take care of their plants? You know, there's going to be an awful lot of need for people to become friends, and I wonder how they're supporting the people in their mental health and their community issues and all of that. You know, it's lovely to put up a building, but how do you create the community?
I would imagine by the time you've invested the kind of money it would take to design and build that, I'm pretty sure all the watering is automated. You know,
I kind of thought that myself. There's this system that almost like a fountain.
You mean like make it automatic?
Yeah.
And yes, there's
away the people doing it. I understand that's, but still, it's better than just crap.
Oh, yes, Marco, absolutely. It is so much better. Absolutely. And
Wow.
I love to see the ingenuity that goes into creating things like this. I
Mhm.
just hope that we create the system that supports things like this.
Yeah.
You know, if the bigger system isn't available, I mean, who's going to be growing their rice? You know, there are products that they can't grow there. You know, their
Yeah, and
peanut butter. You know,
that looks largely ornamental too. I think I
yeah,
mean, it's hard to see. I can't make it any bigger.
it does look ornamental, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
that could be because that's what uh, the the graphics, and that's, you know, it's a model.
Yeah,
And
like a
what it
prototype.
actually would end up looking like is another question.
Yeah, but it's a really nice idea.
Oh yeah, it says Taipei is getting a vertical forest with 23,000 trees, shrubs, and plants that clean the air and help lower
Ooh.
city temperatures. And it's coming this year. The 21-story residential building twisted shape is inspired by the double helix of DNA.
I thought that the minute I looked at it, I thought that reminds me of DNA.
And every
Nice.
apartment comes with its own garden. Different species of trees with better carbon absorption are planted
Wow.
in the park balconies and terraces that can absorb up to 130 tons of carbon annually. Also, so they do have their own garden, and aside
Common
from
gardens.
the planted in the park balconies and terraces. The
Mhm.
greenery cleans the air, lowers ground level temperatures, and also mitigates the noise from the city. As if that wasn't enough, it's also powered by wind and solar energy and recycles rainwater for watering the gardens. Natural ventilation chimneys filter the air inside the building to reduce indoor temperatures and AC usage. It's called Zhaozu Yin Yuan, and the building is expected to be finished in 2021. This is what the future of sustainable housing should look like.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, every apartment comes with its own garden
Yeah.
and different species of trees with better carbon absorption are planted in the park balconies and terraces.
And does it say whether they might some of them at least be fruit bearing type of?
No, doesn't say
No,
anything
no,
about that. Now,
no.
it does make me wonder if it's a link to
Ooh,
more.
that's it without the.
Yeah, it does seem to be.
Wow.
And it was built in 2018.
Yeah,
Standing.
this one says this is in the comments of that. It looks like
Yeah,
a
Mm.
I saw that.
slightly different. Well, yeah, this is built, constructed, finished in 2018. The vegetation on the other renders attached have changed.
And it's in the middle of a city.
Well, honestly, I had no idea Taiwan was that developed. To be honest,
Yeah.
I've never been there, and
I have one.
anything I've seen has been like on, you know, like probably would have been on
What's Victor?
nature. I'm
What's
sorry.
what's Victor Major got there?
No idea.
Ooh.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's a more realistic picture.
That's a much more realistic picture. That's probably the 2018 one. And if this is an example of what happens over 2 years, well, they're
Yeah, I'm
struggling.
trying to see the date of this. This is October 2020. Oh, this is Google Earth. Ah,
Wow.
see how close we can. Yeah, those trees are. That's
Well,
a
they're 2 years old.
yeah.
At least they've been planted where there are now. Um, two
Huh.
years
Now they
ago.
got part of it blurred out. I guess those people must have the most money that live up.
probably.
They can afford to have Google Earth blur them.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much for showing us around.
Yeah.
Kind of
Thank you
literally.
for pointing this out. It's like, this is what Taiwan looks like. Holy crap. I think of it kind of like
Not so
farmland and
not
rice.
so urban.
Oh, no.
Not so urban.
Taipei has millions of people. I've been in Taipei, and that was an embarrassingly long time ago.
Alley 28. Look at that. Isn't that interesting?
It's the addresses. The addresses there are really weird.
They speak French there?
Not that I know of.
LA? No, that's not French.
Alley. It looks like an alley to me.
Yeah.
Alley.
That's right. Instead of street. Alley
Yeah.
28.
Oh yeah, that's English. That's
In
In Chinese.
Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Well, Taiwanese, if it's in Taiwan, it's going to be Taiwanese.
interesting.
Very much like Wales. Wales has English and Welsh street signs, so that
Yeah. Well, we
people who
have
speak
English and
Welsh.
French.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great.
I'm glad you pointed out that that whatever that
Other
big
link.
picture thing link. Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
I did get a mail, by the way, Marco.
Okay, good.
From the
Excellent.
Catalyst.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, that calendar, the Catalyst calendar, is going to be very handy. I was really impressed with that. Being able to list Gaia's Zoom room somewhere so that people can see where other Zoom events are happening, and making it like a TV guide.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be, Zoom events either. It can be anything you want, anything you have going on. And, you can make it visible only to certain communities. You can make it private, you can make it public. And Vincent has been coming here, started coming, is committed to doing training and updates every Friday now here on the conversation during the block party I could probably go to the calendar and look, but I believe it's at 10:30. Yeah. So so
I've got you on my list.
and we've got them. Oh yeah, Jamin has put some in the email. There's recordings of it, so you can go in there and see if. And that's literally what I had to do after frustrating myself. Oh, I'm like, it's that simple. You go to this, you go to that, but it's not there. What am I doing wrong? I went back to the video and saw that I'm not listed as an admin. I'm like, no wonder.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that got figured out, Marco. You need the power.
Yeah, it was just we're all learning at the same time. Oh, my first mosquito.
I got my first bite on May 15th.
Wow.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I missed him, but you know what he did?
What?
He landed on that yellow fly strip.
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about him anymore. Hey, little. Yeah, he's going to be stuck there for a while. Yahoo. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, I can't deal with any kind of sprays or anything.
No, those sticky things are just perfect.
Yeah. I love the idea of a mosquito net. I told Alex about it, and he thought it was a really good idea.
Well, I think you should have one.
I have one that'll go up and cover the whole bed.
Yeah, I want one of those to go over top of my the table with the umbrella on my patio, my deck. It's gonna work like a charm. Just know it.
Much as I hate to say it, I was looking. I saw them fairly, I thought, reasonably priced on Amazon during the winter. you know, because it's kind of, I'm thinking that, well, but then
Out of
they're
season.
so big, seasonal almost doesn't matter for Amazon.
Yeah.
But I think they're around $20, you know?
I I thought that I saw them much cheaper than that even.
Oh,
But even at $20, man, I'd pay it. That's the thing, is what would the market bear? And they
right.
put the price there. And at this point in time, I am done with bugs, man. But I really miss them in the springtime before now. Now that the mosquitoes are back. I really enjoyed looking for them and thinking, oh, how awful that we don't have any. Gee, I'm really happy that we don't have any, but I really think we really should have some. I'm enjoying this now moment, but I really don't think I should be.
Yeah, I get it. You know who's coming out here with it's the 17th year, the cicadas, the 17th year cicadas
Really?
are coming out in the billions.
In June, isn't it?
They've already started. I saw something dated May 18th. Oh, that's today.
That's today.
And said they've been out for like a week already.
Wow.
Wow.
But I'm not, you know, I haven't been outside, so I
Well,
don't.
we don't get them until August.
Well, they all have different times that they come
Yeah.
out, and
Yeah, yeah.
what 17-year cycle or something?
There's I think there's a 13-year cycle and a 17-year cycle, but then they're not all on this, you know,
Same cycle.
you may have a
Yeah.
17-year cycle, but there may be some that come this year and some that come next year. You know, this is one of the richest, if you want to use that term, you know, one of the most prolific cycles right now this year.
Yeah.
Because every year in August, we always had them every single year, as long as I can remember, as far back as I can remember.
Yeah. I have not had the experience.
I took pictures.
Did you?
They landed on our back deck railing. I got to get pictures of them and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I'm happy for you.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, I can imagine you taking portraits of cockroaches too. Yep, I'm sorry.
Oh, listen. Have you never heard Joe's apartment? Oh my gosh. Welcome to Joe's apartment.
No.
There's a movie called Joe's Apartment.
Uh-huh.
It's about this guy lives in this really old project building.
Okay.
And there are hundreds of thousands of cockroaches in there. And Joe doesn't care. So the roaches sing, "Welcome to Joe's apartment. It's our apartment too. We've been around for 100 million years and we'll be here long after you." And they do it. And then they sing it all the way through. It is just the funniest song. We have it on our playlist. It comes up periodically. And
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I just cockroaches they scare me. I had never seen a cockroach in my life until I would have been trying to think how, I don't know, about 20 something, early, right around there. Yeah, because I was still passing out on a regular basis. Yeah, so I would have been around 2022, and we were running the food concession at the farmers market. You know, we had a little grill in there, and we had several bakers on the market. And one morning we came in, and I opened the door, and there on the counter were cockroaches running around, and I'm like, I was utterly
Horrified.
speechless. I could not, you know, I turned around and my mom was behind me and I'm like, you know, and, and they kid me about that to this day. I couldn't even speak. I was just like, and and of course, when we told the market master, hey, there's something's got to be done, and they said, well, obviously you've created this problem. You've got the food on the market. And we're like, no, I don't think so. They've never been here. And we watched going around during the day, and and some customers had complained that the bakers, picked up the racks out of their van, set it down on the table, and the cockroaches ran from the ring. So it's like they had infected the whole market.
Oh God.
But yeah, I can see the live image in my head right now.
Poor
Opening the
Marco.
door and seeing the counter. And
You think you've got it bad, sweetheart. All right, I'm gonna one up you.
I'll one-up you too.
It's my turn.
Okay.
Okay. The first cockroach I ever met, I shook hands with.
And did he shake hands back?
He shook all over. What happened was I went into the bathroom in the morning and I my makeup kit, and he was hiding in my makeup kit. And as I pulled my hand out, he was on my finger, and I went, ah, and flicked him. So there he was out in the open.
He didn't want to be.
So I ran around in my my little studio apartment into the walk-in closet, got up on the bed that and huddled in the corner, shaking. It's like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is going to help. No, it was visceral, man. So Marco, I do understand. I really do.
I mean, you hear about them all your life, and it's like you never expect that I would ever see one.
Well, you've picked up grasshoppers before, right?
Yeah.
Well, grasshoppers and cockroaches have the same kind of feet.
Yep.
They hold on with all claws.
Praying mantis.
Same kind.
I used to love playing with those when I was a kid, but cockroach is just somehow a different whole thing. I don't know. It's just.
Well, we never had cockroaches. I grew up in New York City, which is unusual, right? Most people think of New York City as all cockroach. But I lived in Queens, which was one of the outer boroughs that was actually connected to Long Island. So we were kind of sort of away from there, although I must say, my neighbor 2 doors down had a house full of them. But we never had one, in our house. My brother did when he lived in the city. But when I moved out to Texas, okay, I remember cockroaches not being as big as the Texas cockroach. It was huge. And what he was doing was basically having someone come and put a powder around that kept them away out of the house.
Nice. It can work.
When my mom, when they went to Florida, she said they have giant cockroaches down there. They call them something else. They call them palmetto bugs.
Yeah.
But they're like giant cockroaches. They're like this big, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, whatever you call them, they're still the same.
Down southwest, they're all much bigger. And of course, the people in Texas think it's just because Texas is so big, but it's not.
Yeah. I actually had somebody tell me that in Texas they just put saddles on them and ride them.
Yeah, well, that's not true.
Not quite true, but oh man. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we divert from the insect subject?
How are we going to make heart gardens?
That's right. We brought that subject in last week, didn't we?
Yes, and last night.
And last night, that's right. And you know, it's Marco, it's coming from the point of view of, I've been given this concept, the Our Heart Gardens idea. And I'm also working with this is who I am, this is how I've been designed. And how can I, if I've been perfectly designed, divinely designed, as everyone is, how am I supposed to help? You know, I'm not a planner, so I'm not about to go in and tell people how to go about creating gardens in their homes or in their unused buildings or repurposed buildings. I can't tell them how to do that. And I'm not a gardener, so I'm not going to tell them what to plant. So what possible purpose could I have in holding this idea? And what do I do with it? And so we decided that I'm not a planner and I'm not a gardener, although I can garden and I can plan. I can talk, though. The one thing I can do is talk and inspire people. And it's not so much the gardening in their communities that I feel really strongly about, because they're going to do that anyway if they create gardens in their hearts. Because what happens inside is reflected outside, and what you see outside is a reflection of what you've got going on inside. So if we start with the part that we have an ability to influence, that we can basically control, that we have an absolute effect on, we can choose to create the gardens in our hearts, knowing that the outside is a reflection of the inside. And it will just automatically happen. The gardens on the outside will automatically happen because we are growing gardens inside our hearts. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And it
Yep.
You know, people don't always find inspiration on their own. Many, inspiration often comes from the muse. So you can be the Heart Garden's muse and inspire people.
I can do that. Yeah. Well, I like the idea that we get inspired by others. I know I have been. Stan was the idea, that was a person that managed to get me off of the, creating the physical network of gardens and working at it from the physical point of view. He was the one that came up with the idea of doing it from the spiritual or the non-physical. And I love that. And there's, oh, pretty music.
Arm for my medicine.
Taking care of yourself.
Taking my medicine too.
Which I'm organizing right now while we talk.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so it's part of the creating of it is the concept, and that changes the website, I think. And of course it does. It just becomes more directed towards internal supports as opposed to, the physical. And that's where I've been thinking about it as well. And it didn't leave me room to bring in the Qigong idea, and I think that will take a more prominent place because of this change. Yeah. So. And what else is new? Oh, Humanity Rising. I'm still continuing with Humanity Rising almost every morning, giving myself a break from it. But, you know, it's been really interesting the last 2 Tuesdays, yesterday and a week before. I've had the opportunity to meet with a group that are putting together the celebration for the 1-year anniversary. And,
Oh, geez,
and
yeah.
yeah, Jim Garrison's feet, you know, we're going to party him, man. And so I'm part of that creation. And so it's going to be happening on Friday. And I've got uh, a poem that I'm going to share. And if you guys don't mind, I thought I'd share it here because I know I'm not going to get this up before Friday. And so
Hey,
I
we
get
get to hear
share.
it first.
There you go.
Cool.
Okay. Excellent. So I've got that one right here. And I haven't got all of the things in there that I want to do because what I'm going to be doing is going from my presentation. And I did record it, but it's only an audio file, so I've got nothing to show at the same time. And so what I thought I would do was instead of playing the recording, I would just speak it. So I would go from my appreciation, my 2 minutes or 5 minutes of appreciation, or no, it's supposed to be 2 minutes of appreciation. But let me see if I can get this right. Each one of us, we're supposed to do 5 minutes. But because this is 4 minutes, they said that I could tack that on. So this is how I managed to get my time to speak to him and do a poem. So it's working out.
Cool.
So I haven't yet got all of the appreciation part, but I've got it started. So let me start with that. Hi, I'm Shannon McArthur, also known as SonLight, sparkling on the waters. I first saw Jim Garrison on Humanity Rising on about day 41. How a worldview can empower transformational change. A panel talking about how leading edge science is converging with universal spirituality, revealing the integral nature of reality and the illusion of separation. Jim Garrison was inviting people to talk about what I wanted to hear about, and the brilliance kept coming day after day after day. And I've got to write that in, day after day after day. Then we changed to 5 days a week. Stan started the after chat on day 60. And I've been a part of the after chat almost every day during that time. Jim, you have inspired so much. Ed Mueller's week of Bounce Beyond was a turning point, I felt, and the after chat was a party. What a day that was. And it was like the after chat was my party, because though nobody knew, it was my birthday. And it was an amazing time. And after that week, the after chat put together the Peace Lab, and that was an adventure, and it's been carrying on. And today I get to thank Jim Garrison for all that he's done. And I have brought a poem that I wrote before I met him. But I think it's a really good time to bring this in. And it begins with, I am a priestess of Gaia. The moon witnessed. She heard me say, I will speak for you when the time is right. That time is now. I want to help you start the heart of the God we are meant to be. Or you to help me. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I want you to help me start the heart of the God we are meant to be, or you to help me. We were separated. We were created separately. Oh man, I'm going to have to do better on Friday. We were created separately, so our lessons and lifelines could be woven, super entangled within the womb of our mother. She, the rest of her, is outside of time, eternal. She is another magnitude of human here upon the earth. Once upon a time, there were only single cells, then plants, then animals. Now there are 7+ billion of us, and we've made a hell of a mess of our sandbox. Stretching to look inside ourselves, can we behold the whole of us? Can we become the hand of God? Can we start our heart? I want a miracle. The walls of Jericho came down. Vibration can do that. I envision everyone, whole towns and cities, societies, all drumming a beat every second, fusing our souls by the sound of the drums in a beat that seals and heals our entanglement. Feeling the beat inside of ourselves will be part of it and it of us, like morning prayers sung from Aspire. I aspire. I believe in a benevolent universe. Do you? I also believe in us and in the prophecy a child will be born. I believe we are that child, a God, just like our parents, as is only right and in accordance with natural law. The being that we are has a life cycle in which human is but a stage, in my humble opinion, like a butterfly. I wonder if dragons are a part of that. I have a bedtime story I think you might like. It is time for a bound into the boundlessness, a quantum leap. We are the green man, born to adore her. With the time and energy of Sol, our Father above us, we will restore her. Our Heart Gardens is the vision brought through me of how we can help each other in the real here, and know that creating places where we connect, heal, and flow is the way to go. Our Heart Gardens will pump abundance and love into their communities, where gifts flow, ideas and energy rises, humanity rises. Thank you for listening.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And so I think that's a good kickoff for the next videos and whatnot. I as I'm saying it again, I'm thinking, okay, so that's the physical. We're talking about the physical. Should I readjust that so that it's more
Well, maybe there's a transition, just like the number 10 cards. There's a transition from the physical into the spiritual. And that's true in life. We're born as little children. We don't understand a thing, but then there's a transition where we go from the not really understanding what mommy and daddy just said to getting a sense to stand on our own feet and even to decide, that we want to become part of it.
I have the rest of the poem here. Would you like to hear the rest of the poem?
Yes.
Okay.
We were talking about our heart gardens. It is to be a network of indoor gardens in communities everywhere where everybody is welcome to come and grow food together and heal and share and learn, sheltering our crops and giving us good work to do together. We grow bigger than our small selves, cells of the organs and systems of the body of the God we are becoming. Our stomach, already formed, has been chewing us up and spitting us out and hoarding all our energy. Before it rots from its core, before anymore, it needs a direction of purpose and an outlet for its wealth. A stomach doesn't have to believe in the one to be a part of the one, neither do we. We all already are a part of the one arising. Rumi said we are afraid of our immortality, are we? Reality seems way more scary now. Standing together, we shall see all that we are made and able for. Thank you for listening. Bye for now. Sunlight sparkling on the waters.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you're checking your blood pressure, are you, Marco?
Yes.
I hope that I have helped to calm your throbbing heart. Yeah, I have one that goes up on the top of my arm, and it told me good news. May it tell you good news, Marco. Yeah. Of course, we're all waiting to know.
112/77.
Yay!
Good.
Except for
Wow.
the bottom number could be lower. 112 is really good, though.
77 is fine.
Good.
Certainly better than high.
Yeah.
I realized lining up all these medicines in front of me doesn't get them taken.
Funny about that. Yeah, my mom went into hospital because of high blood pressure the other night.
How is she doing?
Fine, so far as I know. I like to think that no news is good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she does find ways to get through to me. And she's probably the only one that really can. Well, my phone, I got my ringer turned off, and it's a Colorado number, and here I am up in Kamloops, and I don't turn it on because anybody who calls me is probably calling long distance, and they don't deserve to pay money. And I've got the computer; they can email me.
Yeah, I don't have to pay money when I call you because I'm in the same country as your phone number is.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. It works. It all works, and it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like
I like the campfire, Marco. That's beautiful.
It is. I wish I could have a picture behind me.
I'm sorry, what?
I wish I could have a picture behind me.
You're a picture in yourself.
Ah, you know what I mean. That is so cool.
I know. I do know what you mean. It's nice to have what your friends have.
Well, it's just that, I mean, I could put a picture up there.
It's not the same.
But the ones that I have are the ones I've personally painted. So I think it's so cool, you know?
Yeah, it would be really cool. You deserve a new computer. Yeah.
I deserve to make the money to get that new computer.
Oh, you need to be appreciated, my dear. You really do need to be appreciated.
Yeah. We have so many things we have to do with money this year that have to do with fixing the house.
Ah, yes, to keep the roof over one's head.
That's one of the big things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to get our gutters changed. We do need to get a new roof. Our uh, home agent, home insurance agent, constantly saying, "You need a new roof."
Yeah, he might be
But
right.
I honestly cannot say that I know when or if my parents put a roof on while we weren't living here, because we came up in 1989. So between that and 2014, when Alex and I moved in, a roof could have been put on, but nobody seems to have that information. I don't know where my parents had their records or what anything like that.
Yeah,
So
but
I don't know.
an honest roofing person would be able to look at that and give you a good idea as to how old it is and whether it needs to be really replaced or
Well, I like that idea, but I don't know. I
not.
was gonna say I don't know any honest
Yeah,
roofers.
that's
I don't know. I mean, we really at this point right now we'd have to. I don't know. I was gonna say use Angie's List. Everybody talks about that, but honestly, we actually used them for something, and we were very displeased. So I thought, well, maybe Angie's List isn't the way to go.
yeah, that's. I heard at one point that like when it first started, it was pretty good, but then there was talk of you could get on the list for if you paid the right money, you could get on the list, and I don't know when people would go on there and make recommendations,
Hmm.
that with fake accounts and.
Right, right.
But another thing you can do if you can't get up on the roof, that's an issue at some point. Get a good pair of binoculars, and you stand back and you can examine the roof pretty well with a good pair of binoculars,
Yeah.
and without going up there to see. I mean, sometimes you can really see if it's
We can't
deteriorating.
see the roof because our house is surrounded by trees.
Uh,
So it like the front part of the roof has we have when we first moved in here they were little teeny tiny evergreens. Now they're really really big evergreens. We can't see the roof. The sides of the house, you know, there you really can't see from the sides what the roof looks because it's a what do you call where it comes up to a point roof. From the back of the house, um, we have some ability to see the roof if you stand way back in the yard, but we still have a rather significantly sized evergreen there because when we first moved in here in 1990, the first spring that we were here, we went to a park in our area and they gave us sprigs to plant in our yard. And I planted this little, um,
Seedling.
yeah, well, it was a sprig, but an eastern pine tree. And I didn't know anything about how big she would get. And I planted her close to the house, so she's like right there in the backyard, but over our porch. And it's nice because she gives us privacy.
Yeah.
And she's big. She's a big girl, really big. So we can't really see a lot of it. But now when we have somebody come and clean the gutters, they just climb up on the roof and they can see it. But I'd have to get, like, we're going to get new gutters put in hopefully this year because there's a problem with the front gutter that gives us a waterfall regardless of anything. But right in front of the front door.
Oh, perfect.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's funny how that happens.
I know. So
When
we've used them before, and they were good people. So I
they
think
could probably suggest a roofer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know, contractors work together.
If
yeah,
they're up there cleaning the gutter, they got a good look at the roof then too. They could give you an idea
yeah,
of they
yeah.
could.
And we
You'll
use them.
definitely notice if there's torn shingles and whether there's much granite left on them or.
Yeah, they would be able to let us know. And like I said, we did use them once before. They're a little bit expensive, so we were kind of hoping that we could find a little less expensive. But we actually originally were using a construction company who came to replace the soffit on the back of the house. It fell down, the soffit, halfway across the back of the house. And I didn't know what it was. I was in the bedroom one day. It was dark. It was night. And I hear this. I thought somebody was on the roof and they were falling off the roof.
Oh no.
And then in the morning we saw that it was like hanging down. So the insurance company paid for it. And the construction people who came and replaced the soffit, they did for a short while do our gutters, but they had a lot of work to do in other places, and we really were not,
So they're coming
worthy,
back.
worth of their time. Yeah, but they never said that there was a problem with the roof or anything.
Right. Yeah, they try and pick up extra work during slow times doing things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I started to say, do you have a ladder that reaches the roof? It's like I can stop, and I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, I don't live anywhere near you.
You want to come to New York? You're not that far. Um, the the ladder that we had a really big ladder. I'm currently thinking it may be in the shed, which became the home of foxes over the winter and early part of the spring. So I was like so happy that the foxes were there. I didn't want to bother them.
Yeah, how are they doing? Are
Oh,
they?
I haven't seen them in a while. So I think they've gone on their own away from their mom, because I remember seeing her come and look around and she was literally thinking, where are my kids?
Oh, really?
But they were all off on their own because they became, old enough to go and do what foxes do,
Really?
Yeah.
Is that
whatever
how
they do.
fast they are?
They were there. The first fox I saw was in the winter. We had a huge snow, and I happened to notice that there was a fox out by the back, by the deck, not the deck, the shed. And I thought, oh, look, there's a fox out there. And it was a daddy fox. Or I didn't know that at time it was a daddy fox. And then after the snow started sort of coming down, I saw another fox out there, but that fox, there was no tail fur. And I didn't know what that was about, and I didn't know if she had gotten hurt or something. And then I do remember seeing him go. We have a ramp goes up to our shed, and I remember seeing him in the winter go underneath the ramp. And apparently that's where our groundhog used to live, and he's not there anymore. So they just dug in where the groundhog started the tunnels, and that's where they lived all winter and into the spring. And then he wasn't there anymore, but she was with her little babies. I showed you the picture, the movie. It
Yeah.
was so much fun, and I just watched them. They were just darling. I was in love with them.
And now they're gone.
I've
Well,
always loved the fox. We used to in the new house that we built, we could sit up on the south side in the full wall. There was one whole wall, like
Uh-huh.
16 feet long, that was all glass, all windows, and we'd sit up there and we'd watch the fox out in the 10-acre field go about his
Oh,
business. It was nice.
oh,
Oh, watching a fox hunt. Oh my, that's fun. Well,
they're
they're
beautiful.
acrobats.
They're
Yeah.
And they kind of
beautiful.
play too, they're
Yeah.
playful.
The kids play like crazy. They were just rolling around. It was like a circus, like rolling around, and
Oh, that's
oh,
wonderful.
wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. So I was happy that they were there. At least I have the pictures and this
Yeah,
film.
that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Because we hadn't had foxes. I've never seen a fox around here. Well, I know we have coyotes. Although I haven't seen them, I hear them. You can hear them howling and whatnot uh, at night, especially when we were in the mobile home. They were right behind the mobile home park. We had tracks, railroad tracks, and those tracks were closed down, and the coyotes would be around that whole area because there were no trains coming through.
Yeah, out at the farm there, you could, in the evenings, you can hear the coyote packs, all around you. It's
Hmm.
getting a little scary how many there are. They're taking, dogs and cats and
I had no idea that we had coyotes in New York up here
other.
until we lived in the, because I lived up here and then I moved out to Illinois and up to Wisconsin to help a friend with her business. So before that, I'd never heard of a coyote up here.
Yeah, coyotes have been increasing all over the United States a lot in the last few years.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
getting getting to be, you know,
yeah.
very much into populated areas.
Hmm. Yeah. And this isn't, I mean, we're not urban, we're not rural, we're suburban, but we are a little bit more rural. We have farms up here, lots. And we have, matter of fact, we have a farm we have an apple farm that our house was where we're living was originally on land that was part of the farm. So, like a mile down the road is where the farm is now. And all this land up here used to be the farm. And now it's just housing, and such. But
Yeah,
we
even
had apple trees.
yeah, even family farms used to be, fairly big.
Oh, yeah. And I think they're further up, like around Rhinebeck and places like that, which is up near the going toward Albany, where the Hudson River turns and goes out into your direction. But it just, I don't know. It's like the farms around here still exist, and they different places, but they become greater and bigger, and a lot more farms up as you go further upstate. I know Rhinebeck has many farms.
I wonder if you guys would listen to another piece I wrote.
Sure.
Certainly.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, once upon a time, there was a dot. It got lonely and wondered, and the seeking thought created a perspective that became a second dot. A line of sight was created, but neither could see what connected them. Their wondering manifested a third dot, a perspective that showed them the field they shared, but nothing grew there. Their wonder and imagination informed their expectations, and through intention, they created another dot, woven of new stuff, time. Much grew and flourished exponentially, but it was messy, and nothing became its best because there was no honor nor respect. The council of the all that is decided to use wild magic to create a new creature, man. But he got lonely too, and the cycle began in a new and different dimension and direction, psychedelic. And as with the art form, the next iteration begins from within the pattern. The time for the next dot is upon us. It emerges from within the heart of each of us. Like the birth of our physical bodies, this isn't easy either, and can be made easier through intentional breathing and quieting ourselves, just like a human mother, listening inside for what is needed outside. Ancient ruins invite us to wonder and to imagine the purpose they had in mind. Did they mean to create the puzzle they are? If so, will they speak to us in our words or in theirs? And we meet in our imaginations. Discourse on the life stages of a human being and how humanity can be looked at in that way through that fractal lens. We have been a baby deep in the arms of Mother Gaia, civilizations diverging and returning 5 times. A child watching and wondering, learning and reaching for more, developing. Rebellious teen, seeking free love and more, and disrespectful of consequences. Repentant and overwhelmed 20-somethings scrambling through chaos. And awakening 30-somethings getting a handle on it. That would be us, I believe. I invite you to think of yourself as one cell in the body of the God that we collectively are. You okay?
Yeah, I have Claudia in the main room here. I forgot to put a computer in there, so I got my phone in there now.
Can you mute for a sec while I finish this up? Thanks, Marco. So, and this is okay. I invite you to think of yourself as one cell in the body of the God that we collectively are, the offspring of Sol and Gaia, who has carried us for a very long time. Apparently, it takes 6 risings to comb the chaos, aka love, into life or heart lines that are woven to create the proof of life, reproduction. We are, each and all, a part of another dimension's foundation. It is being born through our hearts. For that is what is woven and what seeks the pattern. Now is when we have the opportunity to learn to hear and honor the call of our heart. Do you want to return to the garden? Make a garden in your heart. Tend it with care and attention. Your imagination is key. It is your most powerful gift and the only way to see the possibilities of what can be through working together to create outside what is inside. It is the only way it has ever happened before. Together we shall create our heart gardens and rejuvenate our great mother as she so greatly deserves. This is our final test, ladies and gentlemen, fellow selves within Gaia's gift. We have before us a great challenge to restructure and repurpose the pieces of reality that have been made ready for transformation. We could envision ourselves the one we are, as the green man, created and born to adore her. We will restore her. There you go.
That's exactly what I was talking about. The process. Oh, that's so cool.
And
oh my gosh.
So now I have to work on the appreciation beginning and keep a couple of those as the transition between the appreciation and the poem, because this is the tee up, isn't it?
But that is exactly what yesterday when we were talking, I was like, what's the process? And that spoke of it so well.
Oh,
I love
thank
the
you.
dots. I love the dots.
The dot. Yes, the dot. I love the dot too. You know, it brings science and math into it, you know, and I'm not a mathematician either, but I appreciate the geometries and the different ways of looking at reality. We are told what to think in so many different ways. And when we find so many other different ways of looking at things, I think it's, and Marco's gone. Oh, well.
He's probably went.
Yeah, I went to go and save Claudia.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah. I know he's working. And thank God that he's working and doing what he's doing. You know, he's a perfect example of what happens when you are passionate about something and can see a value for your time spent in doing things to serve that thing. And he's so passionate about what he does.
That's important.
So grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're having fun at the Kiko Lab. Are you going to come to Kiko Lab?
I can't say because it depends on the time. Like my time is always.
And truly, and here's Claudia.
Hello, Claudia.
You're looking beautiful.
Hello, how are you?
You picked your best picture, right?
Yeah.
It's all right. We all do. It's lovely to see you.
It's good to see you too. It's been a while.
It has been. What you been doing?
Oh, I just got back into town not too long ago. I just came back to Ontario. I was in Guatemala and Mexico all this time.
Oh, back in Ontario.
Yeah. So I'm just getting back and yeah, getting settled in at home.
Welcome home.
Thank you. And how have you guys been?
Well, things have been carrying on. You know, situation normal, humanity rising, chaos. Yeah, but it's been fun. And the 1-year anniversary for Humanity Rising is coming up on Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Can you believe that? Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, they did about 6 months. They did, you know, every single day. And then they changed it to 5 days a week. Thank God for that, because I was just about done. I don't know how Jim managed it. But then he did take a break. And when we came back in after Christmas, we came in with 5 days a week instead. And that was so much better. Yeah.
Well, I've only seen Jim a few times, but you know, when I do see him, he seems to be one of those kind of calm people, you know, those.
He's such a happy soul.
I was going to say that word. We're happy.
Yeah.
He's very happy.
And he's so passionate about what he does. Another passionate person, you know, he's absolutely convinced and committed to the creation that he has been made a part of, that has made him a part of it, you know?
Yeah. And then, like you said, the happy, they always seem so, you know, to the point where, you know, I when I see people like that, you know, I think, I guess jealous is the word. I mean, somehow I can't always, it's hard to always bring passion and happiness to the same moment, you know? I have rough days.
I've never seen Jim have a rough day. I cannot believe that I'm saying that about anybody. But
yeah,
that he is just amazing. You know, and he is the living embodiment of my saying, you know, if you want people to follow you, you have to be happy. Why would anybody want to be harried and you know, pulling your hair out and fear and all the rest of that? Why would anybody want to be that? So no, I'm not following any of those guys. I'm following Jim. Wow, we're going in the same direction.
that's kind of the day. That's kind of like, you know, I was hiding in breakout room 7 all day, you know, but just kind of either zoned out or sleeping or meditating, and I was just like, I just couldn't face talking to anybody, and I'm like, nobody needs to see that.
Oh, Marco, she was so happy to have you join her. This is Gaia's room. I don't think anybody else uses it.
I always, you know, they usually make like 4 or 5 or whatever. I like the odd number. 7's my number, so.
That's nice.
Yeah, she's always here for you, Marco. You're gonna always come and talk to Gaia. She's always here for you. But she's not confined to the room.
She's out there in the universe.
She's in here in the universe too.
Mm-hmm.
So Claudia, I know that's a lovely picture of you, but we haven't seen you in person in so long.
It's kind of dark here.
Of course, technically, I guess we've not seen you in person
at all. But a pretty little giggle is hardly enough.
But I can't even put a picture up online.
I know. Oh, Fim,
Why
I'm so
can't I
sorry.
do that?
Oh, you're allowed to put the back of your hand against your forehead now. There you go. There you go.
I want my own picture.
There you are, you beautiful priestess. Yeah, nice to see you.
It's kind of dark here, but my one light bulb blew out and I haven't replaced the light yet. It flashed on me this morning and it was just like, So.
So there she is for you, Marco.
Hey, looking good. It's nice to see the actual smile.
Right? Instead of just a picture, a live human being.
Yeah, proof of life.
Right? Yeah, I'm still surviving.
How was the trip?
It was good. I really, really missed the ocean. It was almost kind of like Cipolita in Mexico was very open, was very clean, was very fresh, a lot of fresh air. There wasn't a lot of pressure. There wasn't a lot of people freaking out. It was just really, really nice. And then in Guatemala, I was in the city most of the time, and it was a little bit more claustrophobic. Anytime you went out, you needed masks, and that sort of stuff. But it was still nice weather, but I was missing the ocean, and the beach. And then now I'm home, and I've been on quarantine for the last, 14 days. Well, 13 days. Tomorrow's my last day.
Yay!
So, yeah, it's been interesting.
Interesting.
I miss the ocean.
Me too.
Yeah, I live in semi-desert
every year.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tim? Say what?
I used to have the ocean. I mean, we lived close to Rockaway Beach. We were there all the time. It's on the ocean. It's beautiful, but then we moved up here. We're on the river, but it's not the same, as the ocean. You don't have the waves.
It's
Miss
just not
that.
the same. It's just
Oh,
not
it
the same.
isn't. It isn't.
But I am glad to have you back in our country, Claudia.
Yeah. That's what everybody said. It's like, oh, it's so nice to know that you're at least back at home. You're safe in Canada. And I'm like, yeah, except for I'm feeling like a prisoner. I'm on quarantine for 14 days, and it was still chilly.
Yeah.
Now this week though is different than last week, and this week is a lot warmer.
Good. So by the time you get free, it'll be ready for you.
Yeah, and here, in Canada, it's the long weekend this weekend coming up.
Yeah, my life is one whole long weekend.
Yeah, this is true, but it means I'm going up north for an extra day. And we've got campers already starting to want to come out for the season. So yeah, it's exciting.
Ooh, nice. Good.
Yeah.
So this being the last 5 minutes of Gaia's Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah, it zooms by.
Yes, it does. Well, this year is zoomed by. It's May. We're almost halfway through the year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, but yes.
All right, you guys. I want you to close your eyes.
I suppose.
If you would be so kind, just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And imagine time as a blanket that you wrap around yourself. And time is going to hold you. Like it has held you all your life. And in that design is love. And it was designed by Gaia just for you. And you are perfectly designed for every moment in your life. And you'll never know what's coming next, for sure. And that's okay. Get used to it. It is your life. And it can be fun. The uncertainty are the currents that take you where you need to be. And I welcome you to surf the currents of time, knowing that you are safe. Lean into it and balance. And the current will sweep you along to the next right thing. And all is right. And you are loved. You are love. Expressed in the most perfect way to enable the greatest good for all that is. Thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, Great Father. Thank you, Great Spirit, for all that is. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be all my relations. A ho and a hey, we are on our way, going forward in the peace Gaia promised. Bless you and all you do, going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So glad to have you a part of my reality. Thank you for coming.
Be well.
Bye.
Be safe. Hugs to everybody.